Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls New Game Plus Bosses. Today, we shall be taking on the Gaping Dragon. Do you have trouble with evasion at times? Can you get out of the way of a moving train coming right at you? If you can't, you can probably still evade this boss. This boss may not be much of a looker, folks, but it's also slow. And quite easy to dodge if I do say so myself. This is another one of those bosses you don't really want to go toe-to-toe with, because, I mean, looking at the thing, it's pretty big and pretty nasty looking. But don't worry, you don't have to be a master ninja dodger to get through this fight. All you need is a little common sense, really. To start with, you don't really want to go right in front of it, especially when it's on all fours. Go around the side if you can. More often than not, when it's on all fours, it will crash headfirst into a wall, like so, which is pretty much your time to get a few hits on the tail. And trust me, you want that tail cut off, because that's a very dangerous part of the fight. And once you do get a hit in, I recommend getting away from there because it can tail swipe. And when it jumps up, try and get your camera on it so you don't have it land right on you. That might very well kill you. There is an attack that you should be aware of that he did not use on me this time. He will start spitting acid all over the floor. Basically, whenever this happens, run the heck away from it. And once the tail's cut off, it's actually quite an easier fight. You don't have to run away nearly as fast as you did before the tail was cut off, but still be wary, that tail stub can hit you, so try and stand a little bit higher up on the body so it doesn't smack you in the face. His three most dangerous attacks are his face stomp, which he'll try to eat you using that giant mouth, which is very easy to dodge, just don't sit right in front of him. His tail swipe, which once you get the tail cut off is pretty much over. And his jumping on top of you, which is easily remedied if you keep the camera trained on him at all times. So in a nutshell, it's basically don't stand right in front of him, keep your eyes on him, and try and get that tail cut off. The only other thing that can make this fight even remotely really difficult is if you didn't kill the channeler upstairs, which I highly recommend you do, because if you don't, he's going to be firing magic at you, I think. I haven't done that in quite some time, but I believe he'll shoot magic at you and make this fight quite a bit more difficult. As with most dragons in Dark Souls, I believe it's also vulnerable to lightning, so if you have a lightning weapon, I believe that also does extra damage, so swing away. And this is what happens if you stand in front of him. I'd actually forgotten all about his frontal attacks, but hey, it's just another reason why you don't want to stand in front of a big, angry dragon, right? And the good thing about this fight is if you do need to heal, a lot of his attacks are telegraphed and very slow, so you have ample opportunity to heal. This is definitely not a fight I would recommend trying to tank, though. Iron Golem is one thing, which I still don't recommend doing, but this is basically never try and tank this thing. Just fair warning, because, yeah, if that hits you and you're underneath that, I don't think I've ever actually survived. I don't know if you can, but I wouldn't want to risk it if I were you. This is one of the rare times I would actually recommend using a heavy weapon, for the main reason being, it's a lot faster to get rid of that tail in 2 swings from a big weapon, as opposed to a lot of swings from a small weapon, and that's a big part of the fight. If you feel particularly gutsy though, you can actually bait the slam like I did right here. Problem is, you gotta make sure you're not going to end up underneath it, unless you want to end up dragon fruit. If you are in human form and actually saved a certain character from the chapel, I believe you can actually summon Slayer and that NPC. And that was the Gaping Dragon, folks. Final reminder, don't stand in front of angry dragons with a lot of teeth, or you might end up eaten. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye everybody.